is NPAFInc bringing one more a quick announcement from my esteemed and scholarly guest, Miss Danielle. How is my guest Danielle today?
I'm doing great. So nice to see you, and hello to everybody around the world. Fun times. You and I've been really working out all the kinks and all the waves to go around the world, and you're doing a brilliant job over at NPAF. Sorry. I just want to thank you. The big thing here is that I know what you're doing in the world is so unique and so different. And every time we have a chance to get a little better, like all of you that are trying your Zooms and doing everything, it's a workout. So thank you for your efforts and for supporting everything we're doing to really change the world together.
It's our honor, and I was reading a press release that you were adding up some radio stations, and what's so exciting about it? And we would like to know more about from directly from Miss Danielle.
So we're up to 15 stations now, which is fantastic. Our goal being 50 out of the gate this, as soon as possible. But we just added, we were on KSRO and they expanded in the Santa Rosa area, actually Santa Rosa Metro of Sonoma County. It's Amatoro Sonoma Media Group. And we found our home there a long time ago. And as they expanded, we're relaunching in that market. Just a little factoid is KSRO is one of the oldest radio stations, maybe, I guess, the oldest in Santa Rosa. They started in May of 1937. So for those of you that think that radio doesn't have any longevity against podcasts, think again, because there's nothing better than live and local into a local market where you build families and connections. So they have relaunched us. We're on 10 to noon on Sundays. Of course, they stream also, and I'll give you the stations. It's 103.5 FM, 94.5 FM, and the classic 1350 AM. And rarely, we're sponsored by a group of. It's hard to explain for some because you're used to getting products, but we're sponsored by a group of I would say the pristine ingredients in the world that can improve the quality of your life on a nutritional level. And of course, Dr. Pranav, you have such an extraordinary background with all of the countries you're in, with medical doctors and pharma and Ayurveda. But I do want to do a shout out because I am deliciously in love with this product. And I'm not a coffee drinker. I've been a traditional tea drinker. And I don't know, but they put ingredients in this product that are there. In fact, I'll show you. You can actually try it. They have a 5-day free trial that they gave us, and I'm going to show you this because it's kind of cool. They come in these little packets, right? And then when I used them, I started with a half because they were so nutritionally dense. I wanted to see how they felt. But I feel over the last couple of weeks this inspiration that every time I have this sip of coffee, something does happen because it's loaded with clinically proven ingredients. It's not just a cup of coffee. It's actually a nutrient-dense product. So you should just check them out, leanjavabeannow.com. Shout out for them and my good friend Louis Volpe, who's been in the natural products industry for 30 years. And they were the first one to support us when we moved over to KSRO and went live. So, and all our other clients, which many of you know, certainly the legacy Pycnogenol and Indina and all the companies. So we want to say thank you. Radio means a lot to us, and it is a different frequency. And I know there's going to be millions of podcasters in the world, but that combination that we have with you, with the satellite network, which takes us global, I think you said into over 119 countries.
That's right. Always, people feel, how are we different than anybody else? Difference. At present, you will be able to see live on NPAFInc on Danielle Lean's free timelines. Our Facebook is live. Facebook page is live. People are watching us there. And you can see the people started joining us. There are a lot of hiccups when we took the trial, but it seems that the scene is perfect. Today, they can hear loud and clear Ms. Danielle, and our ultimate aim is to bring the 4,000 NZ of voice frequency sitting right in your drawing room through this podcast, Ms. Danielle.
Yeah, you have really worked it. I tell you, folks, when you try and launch on a satellite network, and tell us a little bit about the satellite itself, like how you partnered. You're up in Newfoundland, in Canada, in the middle of nowhere. It's almost like Siberia. So from India.
Exactly. So far, snow and intensity of snowing is concerned, you probably use the most appropriate analogy, and that is one of the reasons why we are here. It's very difficult to establish connectivity with the world, and people, those who want to showcase their skills, products, and market with the best of the voice, best of the video resolutions, they are looking for the kind of opportunity where, with one go, they can present themselves in a possible best manner. And when you go through Zoom, the voice quality will not be at par to our transmission infrastructure. That is number one. Number two, the picture quality cannot be compared with what we bring to the table. That is 1920 by 1080 resolution. That is 4K resolution, and we ignite multiple channels all over the world. So it will be kind of a prompt. We advise the Facebook subscribers to join the transmission. So we don't need to go for looking for the crowd. They automatically join us. They find us out, and algorithm plays a role in the rear side, and that gives us broader access globally.
I had to laugh because the first time when we started doing this, we were kind of failing forward. And, makes, as a person that goes live, that isn't really, I'm a quiet broadcaster behind the scenes on a great network of radio stations, but it's harrowing trying to figure this all out. And then all of a sudden, friends from high school started popping up, like Ronnie Dare from high school and my friend Honey and people that, sometimes I've talked to them, but sometimes along the way. So I was astounded when just friends started popping in. So for those of you that have known me for years and watched my 40-year career, where they used to tell us, don't mention consciousness, Danielle, and don't talk about the water. No one wants to know about these things on radio. We want politics. And it's all changed. And because of people like you now, I've had the experience of going into India and your large following that you have there. What's the major goal? I mean, who's your target audience? Who are you speaking to that you want to reach?
See, targeted audience, it's like it's open to the world. We cannot encapsulate, the targeted audience in a particular pocket. It's open to all. Any person, those who want to know who could be the targeted audience, can easily go to LinkedIn Live. They will be able to see more than 80% of the critical mass resides here in North America. On Facebook, 70% of the crowd is from India, vegan, nutraceutical, pharmaceutical companies. We want to create the center of excellence that can help to bridge up the gap between two sides from east to west, west to east, and it should be kind of a what we can say is bridging up the gap and to expedite the commercialization, pre-commercialization for the business seekers globally.
Yeah, I think that the first time we went on and I saw who was there, and I realized that it was pharma and it was Ayurveda and it was a collective conversation. Folks, we can't leave out anything now, whatever it's going to take to be well, but we can't just target one. Sometimes you can go natural and sometimes you have to have medical. And if we bridge that together because of the trust, it's taken, as I said, I've been on the air for decades, and it's taken the collaborative. Look, insurance companies are adding acupuncture, Reiki, massage, chiropractics, whereas 25 years ago, that was unheard of. And I think part of the reason it is now it's integrating is because of radio and because of media. It's not just the web, it's everything that has been set before in stores, like before Whole Foods, there was Wild Oats, and before Whole Foods and Wild Oats, there was Sandy Gooch. And these were founders in the industry that broke everything from whole wheat, like we talked about last time, to really things that can change your life forever, for your eyesight, for your mind, for your body. And we must trust that now. So you're doing a miraculous job of bridging that together with people with great minds to think about. It's important to get on a satellite like yours because it goes global fast and people can share what they've learned in research and science that the Western mind needs. Do you agree with that?
100%, 100%. And how can we forget you were the source of inspiration for us when we started this journey? In fact, it's on record in 2004 when I was invited to speak for the Nutraceutical Summit. In my old video, your reference appears. So it is not so that we are in a liaising activities. We did listen to you back home at India, and we are following your programs. Every faculty that you bring is a novel and a naked diamond on the crown, top of the crown. We are truly inspired by your selection of the expertise, and it's really no words to give you the compliments. The way they appear to your program, they get convinced to come to your shows. So you must have done something unbelievable. That's why people are agreeing too. Otherwise, who has time to even to give an interview to anyone? So I must commend your relentless efforts for so many decades.
No. When you said that, I know those of you listening or watching, it's a long term, 4 decades to be consistently on the air, never going off and being sponsored by the most amazing people and companies. I asked really Victor Ferrari at Horfog, which is Indina, as one of the products, Pycnogenol, and then Indina, and then all the different companies that we have. And you've heard me talk about Pycnogenol for a million years. And I said to him, I said, why have you been with us for 27 years? And he said, because you've become our friend. And I think that that's the most important thing here. Let me do a little glitchy thing here, technology-wise. He said, because you've become our friend. And I think that's what's happened with the listenership and with what you're doing. You're creating friendships. And to think that you've been listening back then, it was 1983 when we went on the air. I don't even know what you
No, I started religiously following your script since 2001 to 2004, and I found you out in 2016. So it's a long story, but we have been following your programs religiously. When Deepak Chopra was there, eminent faculties were there. We used to listen your program back home in India and here as well in Canada. So it's an honor to have a dream celebrity rather who preaches and practice the same subject of interest. That brings the connectivity between two sides, right? We do not have extraordinary etiquette or very high profile studio kind of a thing, but whatever little we have, uh, data transmission, satellite infrastructure, we will use at our disposal whatever best we have, and we will try to create a brand out of it in which we are very successful. And we are very proud that all the streaming going all across the globe at the moment are non-buffering. They are giving a different resolution altogether, and you know better the feedback you are receiving from your regular viewers, right? That enhances the confidence and the level of trust.
Yeah, and I want to mention that again about like what I said about Horfog and Pycnogenol, because that's one ingredient with hundreds of studies. And you don't really see that in the nutra industry at this level. A lot of people borrow studies. And I always say, if you can talk about one ingredient, Pycnogenol, it's a branded science ingredient. It's made from French maritime pine bark. And I bring that to light because the companies that have followed in that integrity, and the companies that have said it doesn't have to be 500 ingredients in one product. It can be one solid ingredient that addresses, say, the vascular system, or one solid ingredient that is working to cross the brain barrier for your memory. And that's what we focused on. And that's, I think, why our partnership with you is so important, because people need to understand that these companies, they can't pay me. They can't get sponsors unless we look at it and we say, does this match our values? And I know that the broadcast network if you would repeat that again, as far as the Canadians that have brought this forward. What was their intention by creating this satellite all the way?
Yeah, to bring the awareness and to bring the best quality of resolution, ultimately to bring better healthcare for the Canadian citizens. That's the ultimate motive. What else it could be other than that?
Now, wasn't there a focus with children? Was that an essential theme in the beginning? How did that work?
Come again, please. I could not get you, madam.
Satellite was launched. Was there an intention behind their why they were bringing a satellite to the world?
Yeah, yeah, definitely to provide better feed, better qualitative resolution, and to bring the awareness in the healthcare sector was the real motive behind satellite infrastructure, right?
Okay, I didn't know whether it was a targeted feature, but well, I would say that for everybody, if you're a company, it's very hard to find this kind of quality in broadcast. We all know that. The good news for broadcasters is you can see me here in my living room and it's all right. Nobody cares. Sometimes things change. You don't look perfect. The light changes. That's a wonderful thing that's happened in broadcast, is to accept that perfection isn't always the only way. The message, if it can be delivered with quality, integrity, that's what you've done and that's what you've proved.
Exactly. I completely agree with what you said. There cannot be better way of describing our activities, and when it comes from Ms. Daniel Lane, it's like a brand signature. No, madam, but before we wrap up today's brief announcement, I would like to learn something more about, because we are trying to bring in a lot of scholars from India as well. So I would like to learn a bit more about your radio station and your present stream wherever they are going live. Would you be able to elaborate a bit on that?
Yes, and you can find on our website, pardon me, you can find on our website all of the stations that were broadcast on. They're basically on the radio in America, in lifestyle markets, many of which, start up in Alaska, go all the way over to New Jersey, circle back to Utah, and they're coming down the California coast. And more we're going to be adding, like where we just launched in Sonoma County. That's a very important market because you're talking about a station that has a reach in an unusual way. And so you can go to daniellelin.com, DANIELLELIN.com, and you'll find where we are broadcast. The value to the network is that each week, a couple of hours go out there that is very different than just putting a podcast up somewhere. And you'll find it streaming. You'll find it on the Spotify's of the world and the Apple and all the different places, iHeartRadio. So, and because of the longevity, there's a trust factor. So that's what you were talking about, is if somebody comes and works with us or works with you, you can trust that the integrity is going to be there and the quality is going to be there. And that's very, we control it. You know how difficult I've been.
No, but it's a learning phase. We are passing through learning curves, and we are and long flight hours, distinct geographical distances. So it technologies pose the challenges, but patience, pragmatism, perseverance are the qualities that a broadcaster and a podcaster need to inculcate over the period of time, and that's what we learned from you.
Well, I like that we're doing this together, because it took our show, which was streaming all over the world, and we tracked it at one point to over 100 countries. But we didn't have the facet of the satellite, right? And that changed everything for going live, because a lot of our times we were recorded and we were sent out and we went live on stations. But this is live. So if we screw it up, if my hair isn't perfect, it's not, this is it. So I think it's really fun for everybody to, and I'm so happy all of you are listening in. And if you have any thoughts, if you have companies that you're working with or products that you love, or you want us to know about you and we don't know about you, you can also go to daniellelin.com, and in there's a place where you can send us a direct message. I will get that. Obviously, we're on Instagram and all those other places. If somebody wanted to reach you at NPFAF, where would they find you?
We have a website named www.npaf.ca, and the email ID is info@npaf.ca. In 24 hours of time, we will revert back to the people, those who try to reach to us. We have a long list of the faculties, but mm, those who want to appear, but I cannot request Ms. Daniel Lane unless and until there is a strong reason and a roadmap how to move forward, right? So we are waiting for that. But we have a lot of requests coming from India, especially as traveling is become very expensive and everybody wants their voice to be heard, their products to be showcased with probably the best of the biopharmaceutical network that comprises biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies. At present, we are live on LinkedIn as well. So that gives us market penetration sitting in the boardroom, drawing room, or conference hall, or even while traveling. So it's like pulling up a signal, amplify them, and rebroadcast them globally. That's what we bring to the table for them, and that definitely gives them better market penetration.
Yeah, I've seen that you have broadcast some pretty profound seminars online, and they used your network in the backbone, and it was pristine clear. So there's a lot of opportunity in a lot of different ways to use this, even versus this more professional as far as just big broadcast. So we want to thank you. I'm so grateful that we had this time together, and let's do it again.
Sure, madam. Thank you so much for your time and thanks for the announcement, dear friends. Ms. Daniel Lean is opening up one more radio terminal in US. And before I let you go, would you please give me the frequency of that particular terminal, madam?
Yeah, so the new one is 1350 AM, and that's KSRO, and 103.5 FM and 94.5 FM.
And what other terminals they can listen to, please?
Boy, there's 15, so I can't name them all because it'll take up too much time. Go to my website at daniellelin.com.
Okay, okay.
I'm
Dear
home.
friends, those who want to listen to her views on the radios, every speaker is very scholarly, established figures globally in the branch of alternative medicine. Please go to her website, pick up the subject of your interest, and do follow the show, Daniel Lynn show. That will definitely help you to have a better, to attain better health through the route of complementary medicine. Thank you.
Yeah, and I see some reactions that are hearts coming up. So thank you.
Thank you.